You mentioned a new Google algorithm last Monday. What is it, and how does it change things? So this is a Google algorithm. It's a major change that Google recently made. It's called the Google Helpful Information Update. So I want to make sure everybody understands what this is because it's the first really big Google algorithm update that's really going to probably have a fairly decent impact on things moving forward. In fact, as an agency, we're really digging into it, and we're going to start talking to our clients about how we can change some things that we've been doing moving forward to take advantage of this and to make sure that we are as giving Google as much of the proper information that they're looking for. So Google Helpful Information Update was an algorithm change that started in very late August and fully rolled out on September 9th. So it's fully implemented right now. And what exactly is it? So Google was finding that when people were searching, first of all, let me just step back a second. Google's number one priority is always to give people the most beneficial information that they can. So when somebody searches for something on Google, they want to serve up to that person the search results that give them the best information, answer their questions, give them the information, the education they're looking for, whatever the case may be. That's Google's number one objective. That's what makes Google such a valuable resource. So if that starts getting lost, if people start to feel like they're not getting the results that they want to get, it actually diminishes Google's value. It allows them to not charge as much for advertising, all those different things. So Google's number one objective is to always give or serve up the best search results that it can, because that's what's going to keep the value of the platform high. What they've been finding out in recent years is that when people were searching for things, they weren't always getting the most helpful information. They were a lot of times getting information from pages that have been optimized, really hyper optimized to come up for certain search topics, but not necessarily always the best information. Well, Google's really been struggling with this for the last couple of years to figure out, okay, how do you decipher what's helpful information versus just optimized information? And I know that may seem a little bit of like a nuanced thing, but let's say that somebody's optimized a page and they basically, for a particular topic, but they really haven't answered the question. They really haven't provided the education on that topic, but it's written well as far as like there's not grammatical errors, but they've really stacked it with a lot of basic keywords or key phrases with regard to that topic. But maybe there's not a lot of meat there. Maybe it's just a fairly thin piece of content that really doesn't fully answer the question, but it's optimized really well. In the past, what Google was finding is these search results were getting served up to people, and people were leaving those search results feeling like they really didn't get a good answer. So what Google's trying to do is say, we're going to try to change the algorithm such that when we put search engine results at the top, those are the search engine results that are really going to provide the user with the most helpful search results that for what they're searching for. So how are they doing this? One of the things they have at their disposal now is artificial intelligence, and they've really tweaked that to the point where this artificial intelligence can actually read the articles and determine whether this is helpful or not, and whether it's written properly or not, or whether it's regurgitated. They also are looking for things that are not just maybe summaries of content that's found elsewhere. So they're really trying through artificial intelligence to determine what pieces of content are the most beneficial versus ones that are just optimized for the SEO. Now, the good news about this is because Google has the ability to crawl, the internet really well, it gives a lot of websites that maybe aren't as old as some other websites an opportunity to really get high in the search results pretty quickly, because if they write content that really is targeted towards what Google's looking for in this helpful update, this helpful information update, they could find that their results are really going to begin to outpace some of the ones that have been out there for a while that maybe were over-optimized, if you will, based on what Google's looking for now. So it gives an opportunity for people to change their content or update it or create new content specific to this update. So what does that mean to you? Back to the question, how does it change things? one of the things I think you need to be concerned about is creating content for your website that is going to be like, think of it from a user standpoint. If I'm a user and I'm looking for information and I come to your website and I arrive at that page, does it give me all the information that I need to answer my question, to be more educated about something, things like that? Or does it is it just sort of something that's put out there in a what they call thin content, which is not a lot of real meat on the bone, but just something that is designed to be optimized for search results? Google's looking for pages that are going to fully explain the topic or educate people or answer the question, not ones that leave you hanging, let's say. So go back, look at the existing content on your website. If you've created content like that, you may want to consider going back and updating that content and revising it to fill the information out, to complete it. The other thing you want to ask yourself is this content optimized to be unique enough to you? One of the things that we're really going to be working on with some of our clients is starting to create some really unique content for them specifically that's going to answer particular questions and things like that, but do it in a particular way that's very unique to them. So, where these things in the past haven't been necessarily looked at as closely with Google, they're now putting a little bit more of a priority. So again, you could either consider creating new content, or you could consider what I think is maybe a better idea. If you have content that maybe doesn't fit this helpful information update, maybe consider going back and updating content that you've already had that's been on your website for a while, rather than just leaving that and creating new content. Maybe the best idea is to go back and update that content so that it takes advantage of these new algorithm changes. So all that being said, we're still learning about this. I was reading about this just earlier today with regard to the changes that this is going to make and things like that, and trying to plan for our clients internally. So this is not something where I have 100% of the answers yet, and it's just started to roll out. Again, September 9th was when it fully engaged with Google. So we're not even seeing 100% of the results of how this is all working yet. But it's something that anybody that's really looking or working in this field is paying attention to right now, because obviously Google is still a major part of many people's marketing campaigns. So it's important to have that SEO in line and to be giving Google what they really are looking for with regard to this new algorithm update. So again, Google helpful information update. You could actually go ahead and Google that, and you'll probably find a ton of different results. I would actually go to the actual Google result talking about the update and see what they have to say about it. And I think you're going to find that it's something you're going to want to make some changes or actually be conscious of with regard to your website, because I think it's one of the updates I think has got the potential to make some significant changes going forward. Some of these updates are really small tweaks. This one's a fairly significant one that I think you want to be aware of.